settings. You have been able to hear me, so just to make sure. Yep, cool. I can hear us now. What? Apparently my microphone is my terrible one. So what the hell? Where is? There we go. That should be cleaner.
There we go. Okay. Can you hear us now, Sencho? Can you hear me now? Yay! Now I hear it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can probably hear me now as well. Yep.
Goody
Cool.
goody.
I
Okay.
had to check that. I don't know why that had default. Oh, I know why.
Mine was way wrong.
Yeah, mine had defaulted to the microphone that's on my headphones,
Right.
which was weird. And I'm like, oh, but you didn't say anything. You did. It's apparently sounding exactly the same to you.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Well observant that you are.
Yeah, so we're late, as we were saying earlier, but blaming Pete's computer.
Well, you can blame my computer as much as you want. It is true. No, I had to do a restart because ever since my internet went down about a month or so ago now,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
it?
about a month, yeah.
I've had these really weird lag spikes coming in, and it was particularly bad today.
Right.
I was like, ooh, let's try and restart and see what it does. And it seems to have worked. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Because last week didn't end well.
Sorry, what?
I do not like the way that you look right now. Why are you doing the Mr. Burns? Excellent.
Nothing. It has nothing at all to do with touch wood. But...
Kylie,
Yes.
gutter, head, out, please.
But I live there.
Look, so do I, but I rein it back for this show.
I'm not good at reining anything in.
Silly
Sincho, touch that wood. Oh, yeah.
Do not encourage me to touch that wood as much as I do. Told you! I told you, I've got to rein it in, and now you've got me started. Yeah, broken Kylie.
No, you've giddied me, delighted me.
Oh, and now the wine is coming, so it's only going to get worse from here on out. So, yep.
I have been I've been so good. I have been so good.
Apparently, you're always down to earth. Yeah, you're down to earth because you live in the earth.
Yes, I'm always down
Or
there.
slightly underneath it.
I'm not flighty, my head's not in the clouds. I am rational and grounded.
No, I just meant you spend most of your time in a basement.
I do, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
So what I said was totally accurate.
So we will give chat 3 minutes.
Yes, such an orc.
What?
No, Sencho said such an orc. I off that, I did say that you were a goblin. So.
Oh yes, Pete referred to this as my goblin hole.
Yes. I would love to have a room in the basement. It's freaking 40 degrees here. Oh my god.
I feel like I've got the air conditioner on. That's how nice it is down here. I do have a fan going, but that's just me. But it's nice and cool underground.
You do have a fan going. It's called Sencho.
Oh, yay! But
yeah, 5 minutes in and covered all the bases. Yes, you have. Yes, we have indeed.
I referred to this as my dragon cave, and Pete insisted it is a goblin hole.
Because my point is that you only ever emerge out of there for food and alcohol.
I go from this cave to the cave upstairs where my Xbox is. Xbone.
Still can't believe you haven't even unboxed that Series S yet.
Yes, I will though.
You were supposed to take funny pictures.
I guess it is kind of like a lair, more than a cave.
Hovel.
It's not hovel.
Dragon cave, not lair.
I mean,
Goblin lair would have worked.
I keep it dark and cool, so it's like a cave. But I do have
So,
my shiny things. I am a dragon. I like shiny
you
things.
no, you're Smeagol.
No, I am. What's the dragon's name? Smog.
Schmog. Yeah, it would be
dragon.
accurate. It would kind of be accurate, kind of. Except you don't breathe fire.
Oh, you don't know that yet.
Oh, I do. You have had plenty of times to get angry at me, and I've never seen it.
No, my anger is slow burning.
Which is why I'm going with goblins still.
Goblins are rash.
Don't care. They hide. They hide.
I don't hide.
And then they come out in rage.
I never hide. What was I doing? I was doing something. Oh, yes. I need to turn... Oh. Wrong thing. Window capture. I need to turn the cursor off.
So apparently the dragon was cut out of the movie in China. Couldn't have anything related to air pollution.
What?
I mean, this is China we're talking about. They pollute more than anyone else in the world.
Are they because his name is Smog? Smaug?
Smaug. Don't believe me.
Oh.
Oh. You got me good and proper there, Sencho. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They are massive polluters, but you know.
Sometimes I'm too easy. Too easy. As they say in Australia.
No comment.
Oh, I'm not. I'm quick and dirty.
I mean, no comment. I mean, if anyone would, it would be China. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, let's be honest, they probably should have censored at least 2 of those movies.
Yes.
Or just banned them outright because they should not exist.
So, do we want to save banter about Friday for
yes.
the...
Yes, I want it on record, just to be stated.
Oh, no.
I want it on record. There's no other way you're getting out of this. I am not talking about it until we go, until we start recording.
I agree. The CGI in it was terrible.
You know, I just meant that 2 of those movies shouldn't exist because the book is tiny and shouldn't have gone on for 3 goddamn movies.
What was I doing? I was opening Audacity.
Good. For once, you're prepared.
Yeah.
Every time, like, I always just make a point that is true and accurate, and yet I get sworn at.
It's my new dance. It's my goblin dance.
So now you're embracing the fact you are a goblin, not a dragon. So, who's right on this one?
Oh, yeah, they really stretched that one out. Put that in the dirty joke queue.
Yeah, they definitely stretched that one out. Not saying anything more than that. This is so wrong already. Should we just cut and call it a day and just say that was the podcast? Just 5 minutes of dirty jokes and that's it.
I'm gonna post into La Discordia.
Yeah, the notification has gone out.
It's gone out, but
video content.
But nobody's talking to us, so...
I know.
Except for Sincho.
I know.
Are you tweeting?
Yeah, I can tweet if you want.
Oh, okay. You're actually typing in. You're doing what I was going to do.
Well, you carry on with Discord, I'll do the Twitter. You need to set that up on OBS, by the way. Or
I do.
Remind me afterwards, we'll sort that out quickly so you can get the auto-notify. It'll make everyone's job a lot easier.
Or some witty bants.
Witty bants. There is no such thing.
Pants. Of which I'm wearing. Also,
well, we don't know that.
Okay.
Why did you also whine on? Oh my! You're not helping to encourage people to come and watch it.
Oh, they can come watch this train wreck. They'll love it.
Right, I'm gonna post something to you because this annoys the absolute living crap out of me. But I'm doing it in our private conversation.
Okay. Try not to put that.
No, you're no.
Okay, see?
Don't, because
2 whole glasses.
Just
don't. All I've had.
Just don't mention it until we finish the recording, because, jeez. Anyway, what was I doing?
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can see why that's annoyed me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not saying anything more than that.
We
so
have definitely passed.
Your viewers are not going to know.
Yes. We have passed the point of no return. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
That song in The Phantom.
Oh, I know.
Past the point of no return. No going back now. This is my only glass for the week.
Nice.
I've done really well. Waiting for Pete to do this boring stuff and then we'll get started.
Sorry, everyone.
All Pete's fault.
This is what I mean. If you would have, it's not all my fault, because if you would have set up the auto notify like I told you 3 weeks ago, then we wouldn't have this problem. There we go. Actually, you know what?
Shots fired.
Yeah, you can fire the shots as much as you want. It ain't gonna cause a problem, because I did tell you weeks ago.
I'm Pete. I'm a producer. I tell Kylie what to do, and she doesn't do it.
Yes, and now you can see why I get absolutely fuming about it. Because I'm the only one that works.
I work sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep, Cincho says, I didn't know what that hand sign meant for the longest time. Kind of blew my mind when someone told me it's an insult in the UK. I, myself, honestly...
Oh, what, the B?
Yeah, I didn't know it either. I found out through a friend who sent me a clip of, I believe it's Hot Fuzz, where he tells him to jog on like that. And I was like, what? That? Yes, jog that! On. That! And I was like... What is that?
I love that.
What is
Watch
that?
that film again for a couple of weeks ago. Again. So that bit always makes me laugh.
Oh my gosh.
He's talking facts and logics to him, and he's just like, jog on. Like, yep, brilliant.
Because I was like, what does jog on mean? Why is he doing that weird peace
sign?
Jog on
is basically a nice way of saying F off.
That's what I came to know, but... Yeah, at first I was very confused. Because all I'm used to is this.
Yeah, well, flipping the bird, of course.
Yep. Which you're not allowed to do in East Texas. But...
No, you're not, because, you know, Kylie, you didn't even do your friggin' job properly, did you?
What? Were you surprised? What job are we talking about?
You shall see very, very soon.
Uh-oh.
That.
Oh, yeah.
You need to put the bloody link in there, you donut.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to correct all your friggin' mistakes. Oh, God, I'm glad I had Friday off. Oh, wait.
Hey, there's Britt. Bueno. Britt's joining the party. Nick. Yep. Britt was here Friday, but we'll save that for podcast chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. We're late getting started, so...
Yeah, it's fine. You're about as on time as we were today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's time
and yes, Pete's back.
RTY, because I got...
Yes. We had Peteless Friday. Like Meatless Mondays, but it was Peteless Friday. We were Pete-free.
Don't know why that made me laugh as much as it did, but hey.
Pecan? Like vegan, but Pete?
Yes, I'm fully... You do know that if you have to explain a joke, it's no longer funny.
No, I'm stretching
I'm
the joke.
I'm fully aware of what the joke was, which is why it made me laugh initially.
Yes. I
So
like to
there you go.
keep making people laugh.
I know, but I'm happy to be back. I shall never leave you on your own again.
Well, it wasn't on my own, but we will discuss that.
Yes, I know. I know what you meant. But you were with Kieran, which was cool. But we'll go into that more, obviously. Because anyone who watched that stream, and I'm guessing Brent possibly
was
did,
there,
knows,
yeah.
obviously. So,
Brent was there for half of it,
mind,
at least.
bearing in mind, I don't know because I have no access to my phone. So
Pete still
I
hasn't
didn't know who was there. I didn't know who wasn't there. I didn't know what you spoke about until you told me.
It was our usual gallery of
Randomness.
conventional, unconventionalist.
Excellent. Brilliant. So,
Okay.
we'll talk more about it soon, I guess. So, we'll start recording, shall we?
Yes.
So, you're going to start recording in 3,
Wait.
2...
Wait.
No. 3,
No, I gotta
2...
make sure. Microphone.
Yeah,
mono.
So MME.
And wait, MME.
Sound, yeah, so the very left. So MME.
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than direct sound.
Yep. Then my microphone. Yep.
What's your playback volume at, by the way?
Below half? No, that's speed. Never mind. Hold on. My playback volume is 0.66.
Put it to 0.3, sorry.
0.3?
Yep.
Okay.
Microphone volume at 1.
Microphone volume at 0.29.
Put that to 1.
Like one solid one?
Yeah, all the way.
All the way? Are you sure? I will trust you.
Actually, no, we better not. Leave it at the same point because I'm trying to run some tests on why I keep getting some feedback into certain files.
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed we have the occasional echo from time to time.
Yeah.
And it's not my file.
It's weird. So how are we sounding, chat out there?
Loud, apparently. So yeah, that'll be what was good. Yeah.
How are we sounding now? How are we sounding now?
A bit better.
I'm gonna pull myself down, just a bit. Why is it? But that's not my. It changed my settings again.
Yeah, it's best. Yeah, because it will manipulate. It probably will manipulate it in OBS, right?
That's what's confusing. Okay, look, talk, Pete, so I can see if you're registering.
Talky. Yep. Why am I talking? Yeah, I think Kylie was louder than me, so yeah, that seems to maybe have fixed it. But let's be honest, that's normal anyway. Yeah. Americans are generally louder than the Brits.
I can't help it. And you know what's funny? I'm considered quiet for most Americans.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I'm the quietest one in my family, so that should tell you what it's like.
Yeah, you're an Aspie.
Well, yes. There's that.
Well, yeah, there's no other thing, really. But
yeah,
hey,
there's that thing, okay. I guess.
Okay, right, you ready?
Yeah, let's see.
Americans are quiet compared to Greeks. Yeah, I know that for sure. I've been on holiday to both.
But aren't Greeks, like, fun and, like, party type stuff?
Yeah, they are. When they get their families together, that's it. It's like, yeah, party time. But
I like all that.
I do remember sitting in a Greek restaurant and it was very stereotypical, let's say.
Aww.
It was cool, I'm not going to lie. Oh, it's not fun to you, Sencho. Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
Well,
I thought it was cool.
It's weird. It's weird. I'm, like, so split in half. Like, that's why I always refer to myself as an ambivert. I don't like crowds. I hate crowds. It puts me in, like, a panic state. Yeah. Partying for party's sake is not fun for me.
No.
But if I'm around people that I'm like over here in Ireland, they call it crack, but it's CRAIC. It's just this feeling of conviviality. Yeah, like sitting around a fire and telling stories and laughing and that kind of stuff. Like I love that. But strangers, no. I
mean, this is what has been said to Kylie a fair few times, probably, is the Kylie show, has been known to happen.
I can't help
Whereas
it.
I've made it aware to her that I'm the sort of person that likes to slink in when they want, and then do my bit, and then after a couple of hours, I'm like, right, I could slink off and sort of go and not announce myself. But Kylie, nope, has to walk into a room and announce herself like an American on foreign shores.
I'm 6 foot tall. I walk into a room, everyone's gonna stare at me. I might as well use it to my advantage. And yes, I love entertaining people.
But then it doesn't give you an out. That's the problem.
No, it doesn't.
To stay until the very end.
Yeah, so and then I get like if I what usually happens if I walk into a party. Kylie plus speed equals kite.
Oh my god.
But no, if I walk into a party and then I become like the entertainment, it's fun, but then I have 3 days of just sitting in the dark, recovering, recharging my battery. Which I think is the autism. I think that if I wasn't autistic, I would be 100% an extrovert.
You definitely would be for sure.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't have autism and I'm still introverted. I have my
not everyone that's to say not everyone that's introverted is autistic. And not everyone that's autistic is introverted. There are extroverts. But I really think that my whole introversion, it comes from purely the overstimulation.
Yeah, sure.
And stuff.
Okay, right. So, are you ready?
Yep. Wait, I gotta pull it up. Hold on.
God! That's what she said.
I was waiting for that.
Okay. So, are you ready?
Yep.
Start your recording in 3, 2, 1, now. Go. Right, and then I'll do my usual. So, poised and ready as always. I like to see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Every week. Every week. It always makes me laugh.
I got distracted on the second set. But the first set's good. So...
It's fine. So Brent is kind of like me. I like conventions, but I need like 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Like I love meeting new people, and I love I used to work markets, like farmers markets and stuff, because I had a food business. I freaking loved meeting new people, just talking to them, making them smile, making them laugh. That is like my favorite thing. And then I would get home and I would sleep. I would just sleep for like 3 days because it was too much. It's crazy.
Oh, I know that. So you remember when we did the EGX episode, which was a couple of episodes in?
We had literally just met, and you were like, "I am tired," or whatever you said. But
no, I said I wanted to just go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I had a podcast to record, so.
Yeah.
So Centrets, but conventions are even worse. I feel like you just walk through it, get to see nothing because you don't want to stand in line for 5 hours, and then you just go home pissed.
Yeah,
that's
what happened to me at Insomnia Dublin. It was pointless. It was pointless. I mean, I got to see Call Me Kevin and meet him and have a photo with him. Outside of that, there was no reason to be there. And that's why Fanfare Belfast will be a different convention than all the rest.
Yes, that's true. But also, you can do another thing. You can turn up early and get ahead of some of the crowds.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what I did on the Saturday, because at EGX, I decided I was going to stay up in London.
Yeah.
I don't actually live that far away from London. It's literally 45 minutes on the train.
Oh, right. That's nothing.
But I could not be bothered to keep going home and spending the money. It was a money thing more than anything. So I made sure on that Saturday I was there early. So I left this Airbnb at like 7 in the morning or 7:30. Got up there like ridiculously early and was kind of at the front of the queue. So when the doors opened, it was mad scramble to go and obviously get to certain PlayStations. To which, during the course of the event, I was like, I want to play Luigi's Mansion 3, but I do not want to wait like 2 hours to play it. I didn't mind waiting an hour and a half for Pokemon. But when it came to Luigi's Mansion, no. So I ran straight there, and I was on there in a flash.
Oh goodness.
And then I only had a 15-minute wait, I think it was, for Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Brent. Yes.
Oh wait, I can't wish it to you because you're not American anymore.
I bet. No, I'm still American. But I remember before the pandemic, before pre-COVID world, I invited a bunch of my friends over that are here, and we had a barbecue and all kinds of stuff, and then I had little sparklers, and then at the end of it, now these are people who were very loyal to the crown, put it that way.
Yeah.
At the end of it, one of them came up to me. She actually works in government. She goes, Kylie, are we celebrating Independence Day by any chance? And I went, yes, I got you royals to celebrate American independence.
Those are the worst kind of royals ever, then. I can't believe they celebrated usurping the government.
They did have a nice laugh about it, though. Thank goodness, because that could have gone.
Enough.
It could have gone south. If you know anything about Northern Ireland politics, that could have gone really bad. But it didn't.
Oh,
Everyone had a great time. But I'll never forget that, and then the look on her face.
I've read this comment 3 times out, and I've only just got it. Every Independence Day without a giant spaceship showing up is a disappointment. I was like, what?
ID4.
What? Yeah, I'm fully aware of that, and now I am. I was just being a bit slow, alright? Look, it's been a horrible weekend for me. I'll explain that in a bit.
Oh yeah, we need to start the show, don't we? So we can start talking about stuff.
Yes, we do. So I'm going to count you in, and I'm not going to do the stupid Wayne's World thing I've done 2 weeks in a row now. Which you haven't even noticed.
I did notice it on one of them.
Yeah, and I think you were trying not to laugh.
I was. This is episode 85, right?
Yes, 85. 85.
85.
I will just say this quickly before we go. So my favourite celebration was when I lived in Mexico.
Oh, right.
What's Cinco de Mayo, is it? Or...
Yeah, was it Cinco de Mayo, or what are you talking about? You actually celebrated Independence Day in Mexico. They have the best fireworks.
Yes, they do.
Really do.
So, I kept listening to podcasts, obviously, and one of them was recorded yesterday, and it sounded like someone was like being blown to hell, like it was an invasion.
It's weird to me. All right, okay, very cool.
That is awesome.
It's weird to me that I like planned fireworks, because I've told you before I'm sound sensitive. Mm-hmm. Now unplanned, which they do here all the time, all the frickin' time, scare the crap out of me and send me into kind of a weird panic. But planned fireworks, if I go somewhere to go watch, I love them so much. It's weird. Oh, it's weird.
It's not really just because you've mentally prepared yourself for it. So, whereas if it just comes out of nowhere, it's like, oh, okay.
I like what Sincho said. I love German holidays. Everyone just be home and goes about as always.
So basically as efficient as a German is normally.
This is what's so funny. Like, I have German friends, and we just get along so well. I think it's because of that. Yeah.
I think so, for sure.
Oh, but yeah.
Shall we get on?
Yes, let's do this.
I don't know why you're putting your hands together like you have to clap. We've already done that part.
I know, but I'm preparing.
I know. I just saw you doing it a minute ago, and I was like, right. I'm a trained monkey here.
No, this is my nervous hands. This is my stupid count hands.
My favourite is the Day of Unification, where so many people say they should build it back up again.
Oh.
Brilliant.
That's funny. I like that.
Anyway, we had better get on. So, okay. I'm going to count us in. So, we're going to start the podcast in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio, episode 85. which, again, is insane. But we are hurtling like a massive destruction towards 100, which we will talk about more as we get closer. But I am your co-host, Kylie Wild, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett, who...
Hello. You weren't saying that on Friday, were you?
I wasn't. We're going to talk about that. So, yeah, let's talk about our weekends. Do you want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I shall, because I didn't make it very aware to people wasn't going to be there on Friday's check-in stream.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, I just thought, let's replace me with the Scottish dude.
Which I'll go into more.
Yeah. So I actually had pre-plans to go for a poker night around a few friends' house, which nearly didn't happen.
Yep.
Because I had to take a COVID test.
I literally thought it wasn't going to happen. I did.
So did I.
Yeah.
I really did as well. But yeah, my partner had to isolate for 10 days. I've been in contact with her, and during those 10 days, so I had to take my first lateral flow test, which, oh my god, it makes you gag.
Is that
horrible.
the thing that goes up your nose?
And in your throat.
Or your throat? Oh, lands
Both.
Oh.
Both. They are no fun.
Yikes.
Now, my mum absolutely milks the hell out of her one, of course.
Right.
I took that like a trooper. But,
right.
You know, it did make me feel a bit weird.
Well, yeah.
But it came back negative. So, anyway, so I was at a poker night. I did my good things. I played poker. I did socializing. I managed to persuade nearly 2 people to buy a Switch for Smash Brothers. So
that is hilarious.
No complaints.
That is hilarious.
But yeah, I didn't get home until 3 in the morning, and I'm so exhausted still.
That's why we're doing an easy day today.
Yeah, no preparation, no nothing. Did not even want to do anything yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have my usual page that I'm working from, so... And Cincho says he's had it twice, and it really depends on who does it a lot. Oh, are they not self-administered? I don't know anything.
No, I had to do my own one. It was not fun.
I don't think I could do it.
Oh, you can. It's quite... Once you get the rhythm... Now, luckily enough, my dad does them regularly and was telling me how to do it as I did it, basically.
To relax your gag reflex?
Yeah, basically.
I should be good at that then. Self-burn. Anyway.
Well done. 3-4 minutes into the recording, we've gone into smut. So, thanks, Kylie. Well done. Anyway. It doesn't matter about me. I want to hear about Friday.
Oh, goodness. So, Friday, as I referred to it as, because it was, so Pete went off to poker night. Did not know that was going to necessarily happen, but I mean, it was a strong possibility. So, I got our substitute co-host in, Mr. Kieran. It was absolutely and utterly delightful. It's definitely different. I'm yelling. I do apologize. But It was wonderful. I enjoyed it so much. I feel a little bit bad because Kieran had to put up with me. And I'm not easy. But he did great.
He did, from what I hear, very well. I've even messaged him to say thanks for stepping in.
Aww.
And now you know why I'm exhausted all the time.
Yeah, I have to agree. He did channel Pete a few times, as Brent will tell you. Brent was there.
Well, I'm gonna go back and I will go back and watch the stream. It'll go up on YouTube soon, so you can go back and relive all the gloriousness of that.
Yeah.
I'll do it because I want to see how many times you badmouthed me across the whole thing, knowing I wasn't going to be there.
There wasn't any bad mouthing, but there was a point where I was getting quite mouthy at one point. And
you've been drinking?
No, completely sober. I'm doing so well.
Okay.
I'm just as bad sober, but I was getting a bit mouthy, and he embodied you, Pete, and I was like, I don't want Pete to be here.
Oh, thanks.
Go back to being Kieran. No, I meant right then in that second.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. You know, I don't want you to be here. I can hot foot at any time off this podcast.
No!
You know, 85 in,
No!
You got no co-host, no editor, no social media promoter, no nothing.
No producer, no nothing. No, this show does not happen without Pete. But I was more meaning I wanted to have fun. But you know what? Kieran held his own.
What?
What?
You can't have fun when I'm around. That is not true.
No, but I mean my particular brand of fun, which is not camera friendly.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything at all.
Don't you dare.
I'll say it to you off air.
Yes, you can do that. But it was so enjoyable. Thanks to everyone who came out. It was just fun. It was just fun. I got to talk my ass off, which never happens because Kieran's so polite, and he just let me keep talking. And it was
It's not like me who tells you to shut up.
I know, it's probably not fun for people watching, but it was so fun for me.
And that's all that matters, you know. I had a lot of fun, so therefore, if my audience did not, I don't care.
Yeah. And he's a cutie, and I don't know, it's just fun. So I do encourage you to go watch the... What, Pete?
Not saying anything at all. Carry on.
I do encourage everyone to go watch the VOD. It's just a nice, like, chill person. I showed it to one of my flatmates, renters, housemates. I don't know what to call them. People that pay me money to live here, but are also my friends. No, I didn't even show it to them. I was rewatching the VOD to get clips, and they walked by and they went, "Who's that?" And that's not Pete. And I was like, "No, that's Kieran." And they're like, "He should do ASMR."
Which is funny because we had that ASMR intro from him on the E3 coverage.
That's what made me start laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like 2 people that have said that."
I even told him at the time.
Yep. So that was fun, and you may actually see Kieran a little bit more coming up, but also as a fill-in for Pete. I was gonna say as a
I'm
fill-in
worried.
for me,
I'm worried by this now because you have not told me any of this.
What? No, this is.
Oh wait, yes.
I was gonna say we have talked. Don't Pete. We have talked about this. Don't freak our audience out. They're gonna be like.
Look, all this hatred and not hatred. Sorry.
No, Pete.
No, it's like, oh, I don't want you to be around. Oh, Brent put in, "Oh, it's good to see you happy and having fun." Like, I don't have fun on this, you know.
Oh
it's
my
like, yeah,
gosh.
Thanks, guys.
Pete's the
Appreciate
worst.
that.
It's the worst. No, your presence was definitely missed. We did, what's the term? Well, slag you off. I meant the American version, for Fall Guys. How much we all want to play together.
Yeah. Happiness spreads through. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, well.
Oh, don't worry, Britt. You're on that list, too. So you have to be at the ready. Oh, Britt says you used to think I would take your place, Pete. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's taking my place at this point. I'm fully aware I'm not long for this podcast.
No, that is not true at all. But at least it means that things can keep running and you can take some time off because we know frickin' heck from your your holiday time. I can't do this by myself.
Yeah, but we did also establish at that point that I'm never taking another vacation again because you can't handle this on.
No, but
Kieran you did this time, so fair enough.
Yeah, but that's mostly due because Kieran's really good.
Yeah.
I'm still. Oh look!
Speaking of devil.
Okay, well, thanks, Kieran. Now the podcast wouldn't be the same without you, Pete. Don't worry. Yes.
Someone says something nice at least. Thank you, Kieran. I appreciate it. My ego has been dented a fair few times already.
Let's see. Brent says it was good to see you being happy and having fun. I just had a lot of fun on Friday. And then Sincho says happiness spreads though normally. Well, I hope so because I just had a lot of fun talking my freaking hole off, as they say here, about nonsense. But Pete, it was our Peteless Friday. What did I say?
Friday.
Peteless Friday.
Yeah, I think
Stir Friday. Oh, gosh.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay. Yes.
Shall we move
well, I will say this since we're on the actual podcast now.
No, Kieran, absolutely not. I am not a supreme ruler of the podcast. That would make me a Sith. I am more Jedi.
Oh. He's
Remember,
one with the
I am
Force.
I am one with the Force.
One with
Comes
him.
with me. Yes, you were trying to get me to have that as my mantra playing Fall Guys, for Christ's sake. So.
Yes, and as I will say this to our audience and our listening audience and our video audience. Also, come check us out at twitch.tv/rabbit-reviews. Mm-hmm. But, as I said on Friday, Kieran's figured out that we can do custom lobbies. Mm-hmm. So please, this is for all of our listeners and fans and our UK staff. Come join us so we can do a custom Fallout.
All guys.
Pete, I did that on Friday.
Yeah, the fallout will be that we're playing the wrong game.
On Friday, I literally said Fallout guys.
So you need me about.
My brain ain't good. But anyway, it'll be so much fun. And I want to do that. But
yeah.
I think.
But I'll put the message out there. Try and get a few people together for it. And
I think we need. Kieran, if you're still there, please correct me. 12 people for a Fallout thing.
Whoa! I think.
We
we could find 12 people.
I think we could. It would be so much fun. So people listening in.
It's gonna whoop all our ass anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm totally gonna lose, and so are you, Pete. But it'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've seen my skills on Fall Guys. There is none.
It made me want to play so bad.
I know.
Pete's thing is he just overthinks.
No, the thing was, you came in there and you were like, right, I'm going to try you. And came out with, that costume's cool.
I got like so distracted because the colors were pretty. But yes, definitely join us for our RRUK.
Yeah, that's true, Brent. We can't need an Xbox version to come soon.
So right, okay.
But
well,
yeah,
it'll happen.
PS4 and PC at present, so
it'll
come soon enough.
Do they have a mobile version like Among Us?
No.
It's only
not PS4 and PC at present.
Right. Okay. Well, we can do it. Why am I doing that? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, anything else that happened this week, Pete, that you want to talk about, and then I'll talk about my dumb stuff.
I got more sleep last night than I think I have done in years.
Well, that's good. Ooh, yes.
I was going to
Switch.
Version. Well, it's coming, so.
It's okay. They need to.
Yeah, I think it's going to come out roughly the same time as the Xbox version.
That would make sense. We can just have a big old party.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying on the stream the other day, I think the crossplay will be coming to it around about that time, because it would make sense to delay the game because they're implementing crossplay across all consoles.
Right.
Or all platforms, sorry, because PC is not a console. Yeah.
But yes, so you got sleep.
Yeah, I went to bed at like ridiculously early last night, about 10:30, which is so unusual for me to even hit my pillow at that time.
We got a great question. Great question just came in from chat. Yes, we've got Kieran saying, speaking of coming, is football coming home, Pete? No. So, let me explain. I gotta explain for our U.S. listeners, because they won't have a clue. So,
I'm surprised you even have a clue.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid. So, right now is what we would call soccer playoffs.
You call it football because you're not an uncultured Philistine. Sorry, American viewers.
So what we would call soccer, which is closer to the original Latin term anyway than football, is now in it's a playoffs, right? Am I saying that right?
We're in the knockout stages of the competitions. We're now going to go on to the semi-finals.
Semi-finals, so, yeah. Right? And England, right? England, yes. That's the team. Yes. Is doing really well.
We're now in the semi-finals, which is the furthest we've got in the Euros since '96.
Right, and everyone keeps saying that what happens is the English get arrogant and then they lose. So, Pete, what is your feelings on this?
Do you actually know where the term "it's coming home" comes from?
No, I actually do not at all.
Okay, so there was 2 comedians as well as a musician. But the 2 comedians are David Baddiel and Frank Skinner, I think it is. They're big football fans, but they actually did a song for Euro '96 called "It's Coming Home."
Oh, okay.
So everyone references that song saying, "It's coming home, it's coming home."
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, so that's what that means. Okay.
The ironic side of the actual song is that they sing "It's coming home," but it wasn't actually ever coming home.
Right.
Because the lyrics are 30 years of hurt, basically, at that time, because we hadn't won anything since 1966.
Right.
And we still haven't. So it's definitely been more than 30 years now.
Even with, like, David Beckham or all those famous people? Wayne Rooney?
We never won anything. This is the furthest we've got since 96.
That's crazy. How did he get so rich? Anyway. That's a whole subject for another thing.
Answer the question, no.
Now, why do you feel that?
Because I'm not getting ahead of myself, and I don't want to jinx the competition by saying, yeah, coming home. I've been so nonchalant about the whole thing, saying it's not coming home, it's not doing anything. I put a tweet out after the last game saying, come on, guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves by this whole nonsense of it's coming home. If we hit the final, then absolutely I might turn around and say, "Oh, it could be close." But until that trophy is in our hands, it ain't coming home.
Oh dear. Well, as Kieran says in the chat, Americans hated the English so much they completely rebranded the English language over there. Yes, we took the U's out of everything and we called everything Z's instead of Z.
Yep. I mean, you ruined the English language, let's be honest.
We made it American.
You made it nonsensical.
No, American.
No. Also, the fact of the matter is, right, you say about the whole...
Uh-oh, you blinked out there. Say that again?
It's like, you say about the whole soccer thing. It's like, we call it soccer over in America. Now, I don't understand why you call it American football when most of it's played in your hands.
Yeah, that actually is something that comes up a lot.
Well, because it's logic. Yeah. You do not play football. You play throw the ball.
Throw the rugby ball.
Yeah, you just got a cheap, crappy version of rugby.
Yep.
You were like, right, I don't want to embrace these English sports. Let's just mix 2 sports together and make it our own.
We really did go to frickin' town on destroying all British and English things.
There you go. And Centro put it should be called catchball. No, it should be called ruin the game ball.
Oh gosh, ruin the game ball's too long. Catch
fine,
ball.
Steroid ball then.
Catch and run ball. Run ball.
No,
run ball.
Steroid ball.
Maybe that.
Yeah, we all know that most of the players are on steroids.
Yes. Well, thanks for joining us on our sports podcast. Let's see.
So Kieran has put, Pete, if England win, will you post a video of you singing "It's Coming Home"? Yes, I will put my Crystal Palace shirt on and I will start singing "It's Coming Home" because I'll be so excited because it will be the first and last time I'll probably ever see us win a trophy. But that's only if we win. Only.
All right, you heard it here. I want to see them subscriptions coming in. Because Pete will sing on camera. Let's see.
Yeah, I will do it on the podcast. I'll literally wear that shirt for that podcast.
Let's see. Or oddball, because it's so weirdly shaped. American oddball. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But then I just get pictures of, someone throwing a shoe around. I know it's odd job.
Yes, it is. How about bruiser ball? And it's a hat. How about bruiser ball for all the running and bashing? Cincho says also works. Yes, Kieran, I think bruiser ball sounds metal, savage. Can I cuss?
It does sound pretty savage.
No, I can't cuss because we're on. Okay.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that it does sound like a savage name, though.
No, I agree. I just stopped myself. But
yeah, please, anything but football, because it sullies the awesome name that football has.
The foosball.
No, because Senko agrees, because Germans understand that it's properly called football.
Well, yeah.
I also must apologise that we put you out of the tournament. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's... But you did it to us in '96 in the semi-final stages. So revenge.
No, no revenge. No, what about ya ism?
I don't care, Rowenge.
Peace and... my Rowenge. Peace and love, peace and love.
Look, football aside, I love everyone equally.
Yes.
Even if they do butcher our language.
Oh, really? Cincho says I'm not very German when it comes to sports. Football is probably my least fave.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Do you like, Cincho? Do you like sports? See, here's what I find. I play sports like freaking crazy. I don't watch them. Baseball and basketball was it. And then I moved over here, and that's not really a thing here. I think I could watch rugby. I think I could get into rugby. I think I could get into cricket, but I need to sit down.
But that's only because you like a big burly man.
No, I hate big burly men. I thought I've established that. I like small, delicate men.
You like small men that you can toss around.
No, why does everyone say that?
Because I just said.
Literally, everyone says that.
I literally just said that you like big burly men, and you said no. So the opposite has to be true. No. It has to be small men you could chuck about.
No, I like smaller, delicate men. Yes,
watch
but
how
not
defensive she's gotten.
What? What did you say?
Said, watch how defensive she's gotten.
No, I don't have any desires to throw them around. I'll tell you, I went on a date with this one guy, and he was very cute, and he was the right height, and he was the right just everything. But he asked me in town, city center, to give him a piggyback ride.
Yeah, I think you've told me this before.
I probably did, because I was just like, why? I'm not a freak. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, brilliant.
But anyway, okay.
Oh my.
Cincho says, but I like logic. Yes, 100%. Yes.
He's also stated that he likes basketball, so fair play. Awesome.
Is a good idea, but I think it's favorite. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Kieran.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not reading Cincho's kind of last comment.
I like basketball the most. Cincho says I like basketball the most, but I never watched just like to play myself. I'm very good.
Brilliant.
And then Brent says, not that anyone would be surprised, my favorite sport is multi-class endurance racing. Very nice.
We have heard this before from Brent. You know, there was a lot of talk about Daytona, which was awesome.
It's a joke.
Yeah, that's the one I wasn't reading.
You did say with yourself. You literally did. You said, I just like to play myself.
Yeah, it didn't say with myself.
With was implied.
I don't care. I'm with Cincho here. He didn't say it. It's just your dirty, guttural mind.
I know. I have such a filthy mind. But I have a good heart.
Yeah, I have a bad heart and a bad mind, but I can at least quash it for 2 hours.
I'm trying.
Yes, you keep trying and you keep failing.
Yes.
Anyway,
so
I think that's enough of an intro, don't you?
I was gonna say, Pete, do you want to add anything about this week? Chat, would you like to add anything about this week?
Let's.
Before we move on.
I'm not saying anything more. I think we've covered this in so much detail how our week was.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Yeah, so I think we'll move on. Do we have any new? Okay, so there is a lot of things that happened this week, Pete, that I wanted to send you that we could talk about, but I knew it wasn't. We can't have a repeat of last week. Last week was
there
bad.
was so. I mean, even to the point where our numbers have been so bad.
No, this is what's...
No. The numbers on the new episodes are so bad because I named it a bad news week.
Oh, right. But our video numbers are extremely high on that terrible episode.
I know, and we didn't even close the actual episode out properly.
No, because
it
crashed.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, I do apologize for last week, but I mean, they were news stories that needed to be told. It's just maybe not all at once. But this week's different. Very different.
Look, I have to apologize. I tried to put a nice blend of good stories and bad stories.
It's my fault.
But Kylie kept throwing bad stories my way because she's like, this is interesting. And look, I don't have to listen to her as producer, but I appreciate her input when she does input it. So I thought, you know what? We'll go with this. No, I'm being respectful to you. Shut up. I'm trying to sing your praise when you actually did some work for once.
I did, but it was all negative and sad. Oh, Lynn's here.
No, it wasn't always negative and sad because you have posted good news stories to us sometimes. You did a stream on your own and got help. I
was going to say, are you talking about Friday? Because I didn't do that on my own. Kieran was a huge help.
I know, but you still...
I shudder to think, and Lynn was there, I shudder to think what Friday would have been if Kieran hadn't been there.
Oh, it would have been an absolute nightmare.
In fact,
I actually know how it would have played out. It would have been, hey, I'm streaming now. Nobody's turned up. Oh my god, why does nobody want to watch me?
Nobody likes me and wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to be my friend. What's wrong with me? Yeah, see, guys, that's what P has to deal with. But
I deal with that on nearly a daily basis.
It's not daily. It's not daily. I disappear for up to 3 days.
But that's why I said nearly a daily basis, because when I do get a message from you, it is
everyone hates me. But anyway, Kieran says, I mean, the news this week was much better. Like the Eye of Sauron appearing in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that's really
the Gulf of Mexico, to be specific, where I grew up.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I saw a load of people go, "Why just put water on it?"
That was actually funny to me because it was one of my first thoughts. But we won't get into that. But yeah,
no.
And then Cincho says, even if the numbers ain't high, all that matters is that the people that show up have a little escapism for a little while. Yes. Thank you, Cincho. Yes. And I really think, especially on Friday, we had our usuals in there. What are they called? I don't remember what they're called. Huh?
Regulars.
Regulars. Thank you. And Kieran and I mean, I'm speaking for Kieran, I shouldn't. But we just had a good time and the vibe was good. And regulators, mount up. And, yep.
Well, unfortunately, I did beat you to it, Kieran, because I once worked in a pub. I had regular customers.
Ah, righto. But it was a lot of fun and enjoyable.
And Kieran's never doing it again because he hasn't said.
No, don't say.
I'm joking.
Kieran, I hope I didn't put you off that bad.
It was a vibe and very informative towards the end. So,
good.
Are you talking about the podcast or are you talking about Friday's stream?
It's not Friday, which you still don't know.
I need to find out.
I hope
now I'm worried because
I think I probably bored everyone. You know I don't talk for reasons.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many times I got slandered big time.
No, you didn't get slandered like at all. I told you. Right. The most I did was I don't want Pete here as in coming through Kieran's voice because I want to have fun.
So basically, you want to rant and rave, and look at how much fun we're having right now in this. to this podcast that's devolved into utter chaos by now.
No, it was.
I haven't micromanaged or produced you just yet, have I?
It was so. I'm so boring, Pete. I'm so boring.
And now Kylie's gone into her woe is me moment.
Shut up. You don't know me.
This is why I do. That's the problem. I've been doing this for more than 18 months with you now.
Sincho says core audience. Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, Kieran. I appreciate Oh my god. He's nail on the head right there. Right there. So he put, Pete's job is harder than it looks. I raise a glass in your honour. See, you can't win whatever way you look at it because I've managed to train Kieran into keeping you in check.
All I had to do was just channel you, and then I was like, no!
Well, there you go. That's it.
Don't take away my fun!
I don't take away fun. I enhance the fun. But keep it level.
I was going to say, you keep me from being just absolutely filthy.
There you go. There you go. I keep it a nice, clean fun for all. Until I become depraved myself.
Yeah, that's never fair.
Yeah, but then you know full well that if I ever go depraved, you know you've got perfect license to just go out and be as horrific as you want.
Lynn says I have to buy you guys a drink or two when we meet this year. Yes, you will love them, Lynn.
Can
I
have
both of them?
Can I have a non-alcoholic? Please?
Yes.
But
yeah. So Pete's coming to Ireland and not drinking.
I'm gonna be the only sober person in Ireland.
But we respect that. I tease, but we respect it.
Oh my god. Kylie is like the demons crawling out of hell, and Pete is the doom slayer pushing him back.
Well, that kind of goes with Pete calling me a goblin earlier.
Yeah, you missed that, Kieran. I did call her a goblin, crawling out of a hole for food.
I was like, this is my dragon's lair. Oh, look, it's Emily. Hey, Emily. I was like, this is my dragon's cave. Actually, Sincho said lair, but I was like, it's my dragon's cave. And I go from this dragon cave to the dragon cave upstairs. And then Pete said, no, it's a goblin hole.
I know. Anyway, shall we possibly get on to actual podcast rather than us chatting absolute nonsense?
Kieran says, that is probably one of the biggest compliments I've given you. Do you mean me?
Probably me too.
No. He called me demons. He called you Doomslayer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's an actual decent compliment for me for once.
I was being sarcastic.
Usually at this point, like, you've called me an a-hole or something.
I don't think I've ever called you an a-hole.
You have.
Have I?
Or the D word.
Maybe.
You've definitely called me that before.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
During our midweek calls, I'm sure you have.
Oh, to your face? Yeah, I don't say things behind your back. Yet.
Until you do a Friday stream without me.
But it's all recorded.
Yeah, that's what they all say. You probably just didn't remember.
Honestly, probably.
No, you.
About halfway through, I forgot we were recording. I thought I was just talking to my chill pal, Kieran, and I forgot we were recording.
Now you see what I have to deal with regularly.
Shut
Kylie,
up.
we're recording a podcast. Let's get on.
Oh, we are, aren't we? Okay, but but this is intentionally a loosey-goosey podcast.
It's relaxed.
Yeah, it's intentionally to make up for last week. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to read this out. My buddies, Emily, Lynn is sitting next to me and watching you guys. I just realized it was y'all and open Twitch on my phone. There's about a second delay on my phone from here, and you're echoing. Whoops. One of those had to be there, thanks. And then Lynn says, I'll buy you as many drinks as you want, Pete. And she means non-alcoholic drinks.
I do, and I appreciate that. Then.
Yeah, Lynn's not a heavy drinker either at all.
Don't worry, I will make sure I buy you a drink as well because I believe in mutual benefit, of course.
We're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be
awesome.
It's gonna be like spring break, but UK's version of spring break.
So basically, no break then. because we don't actually have a spring break.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And we'll get Kieran over, and that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And yes, Brent, of course you can. All of our RUK is invited to stay at my mansion for the weekend.
Yeah, just bear in mind, everyone from RUK is welcome to come.
Yes.
We want you all there.
I have 10 bedrooms.
By RUK.
A few of them are occupied, but some of them are massive, so I can put 2 or 3 in one.
So Kieran wants to know, if you won't be drinking in Ireland, then what's your choice? Or are you a Chad and just drink water?
Lemon water.
No, I'm not a Chad. I'm not a serious Chad that can drink water in a pub. No, I'm usually like orange juice and lemonade or something along those lines.
Oh, we have a drink here, Pete. An Irish specialty called... Oh, frick. I love it, and I've forgotten what it's called. But it's orange soda that's only made here in Ireland, and it's so good.
Oh, right, okay.
It's so good. You know how, like, the Scots have, like, Iron Brew or whatever? We have this orange...
Yeah, it's kind of like how France has, like, Orangina, which is basically sparkling, like, orange juice.
Yeah, no, this is, like, an orange soda that is, like, it's so good. I went over... In fact, that's when I realized that it was only in Ireland. When I went over to Scotland, and I was like, where's my orange drink? Like, looking through everything, and I couldn't find it. And then I texted, like, somebody, and they were like, Kylie, that's only sold in Ireland. I was like, no!
Yeah, we've got a few comments.
Orange Club. Thank you, Lynn. Let's see.
Okay, I'll have to look at it.
Bang energy drink. I've kind of wanted to try that. I keep getting ads for it. But just one a day, way too much caffeine. So here's the thing. Caffeine drinks over here are regulated. They don't have the same caffeine that they do back in the U.S. So, like, Monster energy drinks here are just, like, they're like nothing. They're like normal sodas.
They've got so little caffeine in them, they're not even worth it.
Yeah. Let's see. And then Emily says Fanta. And then Kieran says Fanta Fruit Twist is a delight. I highly recommend it.
When I was drinking more fizzy drinks,
I might try that.
I'm not a fizzy drink drinker anymore. I have my reasons behind it. Yeah, I used to drink Fruit Twist a lot.
Right? I've never had it.
I've gone off it now because I drank it that much.
Right.
But hey. It is nice, actually. It's very, like the name would imply, it's very fruity.
I like fruity in many ways.
Yeah.
But Emily says, oh, weird. Are they still more expensive? I guess slightly, but not much more than a soda. No. At least not over here.
I think a can of Relentless is usually about $1.50.
Yep, that's exactly it. At least over here it is. I was gonna say $1.50.
So yeah, if you were to work that out in American money, I think that's about $2.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more, but then of course you guys have no added tax on there, so it's probably about $3.50.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of our prices do include VAT.
I love that because that means I can go in and I can buy something that's like £2 as opposed to in America where it's like $1.57, and then they add tax to it.
It confused the hell out of me when I was in Vegas because I went in the pharmacy and I literally it was Walgreens actually. I walked into Walgreens and got some drinks because I picked up massive bottles of water for the room, so I had a constant supply of bottled water. And just, I walked up to there and I went, right, that's a couple bucks, that's fine. And then I was like, wait, what? What is going? Yeah, they chucked a load of tax on there. I was like, what is this? Ugh.
But
so Central Hotspur SGDQ starts soon.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Summer Games Done Quick. For those who don't know the acronym, I'm going to be watching the hell out of that.
Yeah.
And Brent has put, it was horrible when I lived in TN with its 10% sales. Tennessee.
Ooh, yeah.
10%?
10%.
Oh my God. Woof. Yeah. Everyone complaining about $70 purchases on games. Whoa.
Yeah, 10% is quite a bit of tax.
That's quite a fair amount.
I'm trying to remember what Texas's is. I used to have to do it when I was running the pizza place.
8%.
It's 8%, but there's an
8.25. I can't believe I
Pete,
just
that
pulled
was
a number
good.
out of nowhere.
That was good. You did very well. But yeah, so
there's a jinx.
So yeah, exactly. Summer dames. Wow. Summer dames gone quick.
Yeah, summer games done quick is basically it's a speedrunning thing. So
that raises money for charity.
Yeah, they try and play games as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
To raise a lot of money for good causes. It's amazing.
I'm always kind of divided about it because like some of them are really fun. Stuff you wouldn't think about. But some of them it's just like somebody did like a Fallout one, I think Fallout 3, and it was just like all they did was just glitch. Oh yeah, because they do it in different categories for people who don't know, like non-glitch and all this kind of stuff. And some of the charities ain't that great, Sincho, you're right.
Yeah, but that's speedrunning in general. Like a lot of speedruns actually do consist of like utilizing what's there in front of you. So people use glitches all the time, like the old Mario one where they pass through the wall and stuff like that. You know, any way that they could get world record times
actually,
or something like that.
But no, that's a good point. I'll say this and then we'll move on. But like, think about the original Mario. You could speedrun that because you'd hit the warp whistle in the first level, and then the warp whistle in
You're thinking of Mario 3. You mean the warp pipes in the first game?
Well, yes. Sorry, I said warp whistle, didn't I?
You did.
Good catch. Nope, I meant warp pipes. You're right. Pipes.
Yeah. Do not try and get an obscure Mario thing over my head.
No,
ain't happening, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, because that's exactly. I was picturing pipes, but I said whistle. I guess just habit.
You probably were thinking of like that where you pick up the first whistle in that sub castle in World 1.
Well, you can do that, but I actually do mean the original Mario where you can get the warp pipe in the first
1, 2, and then 4, 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and then you go straight.
As World 5.
Yep. So.
Which is annoying.
Well, but I kind of like that. But,
yeah, I know, but World 5 is where everything ramps up.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, so chat, if you have anything else you want us to talk about, throw it in there. We'll be happy to. Because this is our loosey-goosey episode. But we do have plans. We do.
We have something we could do. So.
Oh, but I remembered what I wanted to talk about.
Which is what?
That EA made a deal with Microsoft. And 2042 is exclusive to Microsoft.
No, it's not. It's not exclusive to Microsoft. It is not. You've misread what has actually happened.
Okay, explain it.
So EA have sold the advertising rights to Microsoft.
That's stupid.
Everyone does it.
Yeah, why is that making the news?
Because people are stupid and don't know how to read. No, to think Battlefield 2042 is only coming on the Xbox is kind of dumb.
Yes.
Otherwise, they would have announced it for Game Pass.
That's actually a good point. Well, I mean, they wouldn't announce that for Game Pass because that's how they make their money.
Yes, but they could if Microsoft cuts them a check, because this is the talk that Phil Spencer has been doing over the course of the week, is talking about how the breakdown of it works. Because EA know.
Despite calling me a demon earlier, Kieran wins.
Shut up, you Xbox fan people.
Because EA know what the superior console is. Yes.
No, so yeah, Phil Spencer has been explaining how the pricing cut for Game Pass works, and it's totally solely down to the developers.
Yeah, so, no, I agree. We were going to talk about that this week, actually.
I know, but I'm going to mention it now because obviously it's been mentioned, because I think I can't remember the company, but a company did get approached to put the game on Game Pass. Yes, robot. You want to read? Go read something then.
I don't want to interrupt you. I want you to finish.
No, you can't carry on.
You are butt.
No, it's
speaking of butts.
No, because you turning around and going like that is very, very distracting.
I'm sorry. I'll be good. Finish your thought.
No, carry on. No, carry on. I can finish my thought because I don't lose my train of thought very often.
Oh, see, I do. I'm a train wreck. But actually, Brent says, I want to talk about my plans for today. Going to the lake with my parents, which is awesome. All 6 dogs. For Krusty Butt, aka Smoke Boston Butt. What I want to talk about is it's called butt, Boston Butt. It's a wonderful piece of pork. It's wonderful. It's the shoulder. And pork shoulder is actually a pork butt.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird. I don't know why that happened.
Seriously, pork shoulder is so good. It's so good.
It's so good. You should.
I know.
I'll make y'all that when you come over. I will make.
Yep. But if there's not slow cooked pork shoulder, then I am.
I will. I'll make it. I'll make it
with good crackling too, because you've talked up your
hell
crackling
yeah!
before.
Hell yeah! Anyway, Kieran says,
what?
That's my texting coming out. You want to see some real texting? Anyway, Kieran says, just kidding, console wars are silly, and I'll be repenting for that comment later. Well, they are silly, but we also know who is superior. And then he adds, do you Americans hate us that much you'd sooner eat butts?
Some people enjoy that. Okay?
I would eat pork butt.
I'm not commenting on what people
Pete doesn't want to comment about eating ass.
I have already mentioned it before. Anyway,
I will be good. I will be good. Because especially because Brent is a gentleman.
I know. So what I was saying before, Spencer has been talking to people, has talked about the pricing structure for Game Pass, and leaving it solely up to the developers whether or not they want it per download or whether or not they want a straight fee.
Yes. Well, I think it's a good business practice, and
I absolutely do as well, and I'm ignoring that, Kieran.
I'm not. So Kieran says.
Of course you mentioned.
Hold on, we didn't say nothing about A**, which is
obviously
Boston butt, Boston ass.
No.
Oh, Pete, when y'all come over next year, I'm gonna be like, I've made you a smoked ass.
I worry about some people that are going to be staying in your house. I do, because I don't know how many of them. No, I'm not continuing that thought. You're taking me down like, very bad roads here. I'm staying away from the dirt road.
Okay, so as Brent said, bringing an adult back into the mix. As far as I can tell for the Battlefield thing is that it will play best on Xbox, not that it's exclusive.
Yeah, so Microsoft have got the advertising rights. So this is the same thing that you'll see at, like,
you just blinked out. Repeat that.
Oh.
You dropped out.
I said that this is an advertising thing solely. So when you see adverts on TV or in print or on websites, it will have the Microsoft logo in with it, because they have paid for that exclusive advertising right.
Right.
It's like the same thing that Sony have been doing for quite a long time as well.
Like I said, that's what we were originally going to talk about, but I think it's been talked about to death this week. So
it has, and also it's such a non-story that people kind of were getting a bit uppity about it, and it was like they didn't actually really have happened.
Brent has a very good question. Kieran, please weigh in on this, if you can. I don't want to make you do anything. But as far as Game Pass payout, should I be downloading every game, even if I immediately delete it? Now, that's what I do, but I don't know if there's any merit in that. That's just what I do.
It would solely depend on what kind of payout that they're getting, what kind of contract they have with Microsoft in terms of being on Game Pass. It's whether or not they've chosen to go, I want this cut, I want X amount per download, or I want a straight figure of revenue lost, essentially. Mm-hmm. Because obviously every company will have projections. You know this better than most.
Yep.
You know, you will make a projection, say it's coming out on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Mm-hmm. They will have a projection for every single console, what they're expected, what they're thinking that they will sell. like probably bottom end, top end, and like middle of the road, which is what they're actually thinking is going to be true. So they turn around to Microsoft during the negotiation stage, and they might turn around and go, "Well, we're expecting to sell 30,000 copies on your
Right.
console." So they might go, "Well, we might get 30,000 downloads for being on Game Pass. So let's take the per download."
As Brent has gone into more detail, but is their definition of download literally downloading regardless of playtime? I assumed it was. I have never thought about that. That is a very good question. I assumed it was just downloading. Well, what I do is I download and then I start and then back out of it.
I would imagine it will probably be for starting the game, at least.
Yeah.
Like, because they could see how many people obviously clicked on the page to at least see it, and then obviously they'll have accurate figures based on how many people are downloading it, but also figures that say these people that download it will also go on and actually play it either to its completion or for X amount of time.
Right.
They'll have a breakdown of all of that.
Yeah, Brent, if you do go into that, I would love to hear your findings on that as well.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of assumptions that I think I probably shouldn't have been making.
No, to be fair, this actually wasn't something about until this article came out.
Yeah.
Or until this was spoken about. So I'm going to go and do more research on it. So Brent, if you're available to do it, we'll want to talk about it this month, hopefully. So I'll get in touch, basically.
I like what Kieran's added. I suppose so, because without Game Pass, a simple download of a game would be indicative of the fact someone has purchased it. Yes, that is true.
That's very true, actually. Yeah, so that's a good point. I'd guess it would be by download then.
Yep.
Essentially is, yeah, you've bought the game.
Right. Huh. Very
but we'll see anyway, because but also there is the factor of once it does leave Game Pass, how many people then decide to go and actually purchase it.
Right.
Because I'd like to see the figures on that too, on certain games.
Yeah, because
Life being one.
Well, I was gonna say I've definitely bought Outer Worlds, Subnautica, City Skyline, I think was the other one.
Yeah, did you buy them on PC though?
No. I mean, I have Subnautica on PC, but I rebought it on the Xbox after I played it.
Game Pass?
Yeah, when it was on Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because you obviously get discounts doing it that way, which I think's a good idea. If a game's going to go on service, give them an incentive to want to keep it.
Absolutely. And then I bought Outer Worlds, but it was just because, well, one, I love the game, but why did I buy it after the Game Pass? I don't remember exactly. I had a logic to it, but I don't remember now. Maybe because I was wanting DLC for the future or something. But
it's very possible. I think that might have been why you purchased it, because they did have DLC for it. It might have come with the deal.
It didn't come with the DLC because this was way back. I bought it first day release.
Fair enough.
But I didn't buy it first day release. That's where I'm confused. Maybe I bought it. No, I bought it on PC first day release. I got it Games Pass on there, ended up liking it, and then bought it on Xbox. That's the order.
There you go.
Yeah.
You basically use Game Pass as your demo.
Yes, and that's literally what I do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I probably should do the same with Street 4, but, well, I own that on 2 other consoles, so I don't feel so bad about, keeping it on Xbox.
Yes.
Through Game Pass. Because I've supported developers. And I will support the developers when that DLC gets launched.
Yes. We know you will.
No, they had a new trailer the other day.
Oh,
they
right.
Had a new trailer and they announced the release date.
Oh, goodness.
Pretty soon. I can't remember. I think it's either this month or next month. It's pretty close.
Right.
So, yes, I am going to buy it. And I'll probably buy it on all 3 consoles.
Yep. Because
I'm such a terrible...
No.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of hoping to get the PS4 code for the DLC, so I don't have to re-review it.
Well, there you go.
I put myself out there for it. I put a message up and said, so...
Now that I have an S, I can start reviewing Xbox games again.
Might require you to actually take it out of the box and plug it in and set it all up first.
You know what I gotta do, though? I really need to finish my Last of Us article.
I missed all of that. Sorry, it kind of cut out on my end.
I need to finish my Last of Us article.
Yes, you do. So no more.
Mike actually messaged me and said,
also, I know. I'm also wondering as well, like, about your S. Like, how many walls are going to have to be painted before that thing goes in?
That is an inside joke for anyone that doesn't know.
I know. I don't care. I'm willing to say what the joke is.
You know what? But here's what's funny about that. I actually thought of that this morning, and then we'll wrap up. We'll go to our next section and then wrap up because you got to go.
I know. No, it's fine.
But, so, when Pete sent... Okay, so I had a PS4. I bought it. I never hooked it up.
And PSVR as well.
And PSVR. So, yeah, one unit. I moved here into this house. And I needed to... My office did not look like this. This was a scary place before I fixed it up. And, so Pete sent me Final Fantasy VII R. I forgot what the R stands for, Pete.
Remake.
That's the word. And so in order to hook up the PS4 and the PSVR, I had to paint the walls first because I had to get the bookcase in to put the PS in to hook it up. So, yes, funny, haha, blah, blah. I've got pictures, it's hilarious. Yeah. But the reason why, and I said this on Friday, that I haven't...
No, she's now actually sent it back to me because she didn't play it.
I did play it. I just didn't play it all the way through.
10 minutes.
Yes, but as far as the Xbox...
Of a 40-hour game, you played 10 minutes.
It's true. As far as the Xbox S goes, as I said on Friday, I made a dumb thing and said, oh, I'll make a picture of it like it's a newborn. Ha ha ha, it's so funny. And everybody had a great laugh and stuff. And so I haven't hooked it up because I haven't done that yet.
See the amount of stick that I get for doing a nice thing of lending a game so that she doesn't have to spend 45 quid on it. A game that she's not guaranteed to like.
My brain don't work good.
But I did a nice thing and I went, oh, Kylie, I've got several other people who all want to play this game.
I sent it back!
I know you did.
I did.
But there was even someone in your house saying, I would like to play that. And you went, no, because I'm going to play it, and then went unplayed.
Well,
that person could have completed the game long before you.
Yeah, well, they've got it now.
No, they haven't. Oh, they bought it themselves. Thank God.
Kieran says, if you ask me, I'd be too afraid of dropping it. Too risky, if you ask me. Well,
no, because I am gonna absolutely swaddle my ex once I get it.
Well, see, that's part of the thing, Kieran. I'm trying to figure out how to do it with the less damage invoking. I'm just gonna take one really fast, funny picture. And then get it in its home. Its new little home.
Do you know the funny thing about this, though? And you have not...
What? That I brought it on myself?
No. Do you actually have help to take that picture without having to cause damage?
I'd rather do it on my own.
And this is why you fail.
Yes. The less I interact with people, the better. Ellen said she told me that others were wanting to play. Yes, it did.
Because that's actually true. I know. I am fully aware of that.
I am the worst. Anyway, enough about all of my horribleness.
No, I could carry on for another 3 hours about that, but we won't. And that was a joke, just so you know.
No, I know that.
At least not that horrible.
Not that bad. Look,
it's pretty bad.
Kieran was still alive at the end of Friday's episode.
Well, that's good. He didn't at least eat him alive.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. No, Kieran, you did your job well then. You stood your ground.
He did.
That's how you fight fire with fire, you know. She goes all ranty, you just like, nope, stop.
I don't rant.
Sorry, hang on. Let me check. She says after an hour and 7 minutes of recording this gaming podcast where we've barely spoken about gaming.
Well, yes. Yes, Kieran, it would have. He says it would have been very bad if I ended up deceased, to be fair.
No comment.
Oh my gosh.
Kieran, I will buy your bot. Yeah, he definitely needs it after that for sure.
I don't need handlers.
just make sure you purchase a few bottles of Iron Brew, because apparently the Scottish can't leave the land without a few bottles of that.
We have Iron Brew here.
Well, that's fine then. He'll be all right.
Because we have a whole.
He could at least.
We have a whole section of people called the Ulster Scots, which identify as Scottish.
Oh yeah, of course. That's fine then. So that means the liquid nectar that is Iron Brew will not be able to will not have to leave his veins too long. That is like a heroin addict. Get out right.
That's like me and Orange, whatever it's called.
You can't even remember the name of it. It was only sent to you 15 minutes ago.
Let's not be racist, Pete.
I am sorry. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself from going to
that was funny. That was
bad stereotypes about the Scottish.
Don't make me curse the England national team, says Kieran.
I mean, you're Scottish. You've already done that enough anyway.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are too funny. Y'all crack me up.
Oh, who's racist now? Who's racist?
Twitch Kieran says, with my dark Celtic magic. So.
There you go. So, anyway, shall we move on?
We'll
cover a few
yeah, because we got to wrap up for you.
Yes. So, I think we might do this once a month, by the way.
Okay.
Welcome to Book Club, everyone.
I'm only laughing because I actually am going to start a book club in a few weeks called the Band Book Club. So.
I know.
Yeah, I've told you about it.
I know. We've already put, yeah.
But I will throw this out there to the audience. If you want to join me with my banned book club, it's books that have been banned around the world, and we're going to talk about them and be political and stuff. Anyway.
Sweet.
Stuff I don't get to do here.
I know. So, as you know, last month we did a couple of books. So, we had the awesome Joe Donnelly on.
Yes.
Who promoted his book Checkpoint.
Yes, but please go check that out.
Yeah. The next week, we actually did the book Ask Iwata.
Yes.
I can't see my own camera here. There we go. Good. It came
out
the right way.
I discovered... ignoring chat right now. But I discovered that this Japanese guy born in the 40s, right? 40s or 50s?
40s or 50s? I think it's 50s.
50s. Yeah, so this Japanese guy born in the 50s, half a world away, totally different generation, and I are nearly the same people, and it was awesome. Related so hard. And yes, as Kieran says, Pete has quite simply had enough of this chaos and is laying down the law here and now.
Yeah, I would do. I have to, because I'm looking at my time here. I've got about 20 minutes.
I know you do.
But I can go longer, it's fine.
A-cap. Anyway.
No, it's because we started late, because it's my own stupidity myself.
Well, you can help with your computer. But anyway, yes. Let's go on
No, because I sent to you a message saying, we'll jump on about 2-ish, turn up until 1:30.
Oh, that's right. I was ready.
Which is very unusual for me.
I was ready.
For once, I'm not actually banging on. Go, Kylie, you're needed.
That's what she said. Yes, Kieran.
Yeah.
That's exactly indeed what she has said.
Perfect for an audio listening format that you're doing on something well done.
Oh, dadgummit! I'm sorry, audio listeners. I love you.
Now you see, Kieran, exactly why I micromanage sometimes. Because this is a sort of random nonsense that you have to put up with.
No.
It's remembering that to not... And I'm going to say this, and you can say that's what she said, but fiddling around with things, recording.
I'm rebellious.
Yes, you are, and it does get quite tiring. I'm like a parent.
I'm a defiant young lady.
Put it down now before you cause any more.
I need something to fiddle with.
That's what she said.
It's true. It's been a really long time, guys.
I'm not saying anything more anyway. So, this section from Ask Iwata is called The Dawn of HAL Laboratory and the Release of the Famicom. So, for those who don't know, called the Family Computer.
Yes, but I do like what Kieran has said.
Yeah, I know. So I'm reading it. So, Pete, I imagine you have a serene chamber in your house where you purge yourself of all podcast stress. I do. It's called my garden, where I go and scream into the ether.
But Kieran he had fun on Friday.
Yeah, but Kieran is now starting to see how much of hard work it is to control you behind
because no one
the scenes.
controls me.
Yes, I've realised by now you don't ever control Kylie. You only ever manage her slightly. Yeah, you literally have to pick you up and put you in the right direction.
I think actually on Friday, I believe, because I was looking for clips. There's one point where, okay, first of all, it took me like 15-20 minutes to even start the show, Pete. And then in the middle of the intro, I got distracted.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm gonna be good.
You better be. So, I was gonna read a bit more, but I think I'll section about how
you just dropped out. Audio dropped out. So say that again.
I said I was going to cover a little bit more, but I think we've only got time to cover this one section about how and the release of the Famicom.
We needed this episode though after last week.
I'm not going to lie, this has been a purging episode.
It has.
So,
that's why I'm calling it the Purge.
And I've been so stupid there because I've told you about audio stuff and I've just put my hand in front of my face.
Well, there you go.
Because I'm an idiot too.
We're calling this the Purge.
Yes, we shall. So, right. I did actually say to you last time I should get a PDF version of this, so I'll try and do that next time we cover this.
Trade off.
And the first week of the month.
But if Kieran joins us, when Kieran joins us next time, because Kieran, I don't remember if you missed.
No. I didn't know if we've said this already, but
I don't remember if I said.
Don't then.
Okay.
Well, I think people already know now by that stupid way we've just. Well done.
I was actually not referring to that. That's a surprise for later. I was referring to the compliment that I had revealed earlier, that my housemate, people who pay me money to live here, walked by while I was clipping stuff, and heard you, Kieran, and said, "Ooh, they should do ASMR."
Brilliant.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll move away from that one pretty quickly. It's not rude or anything, but it's gonna set you off.
But yes, Pete, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I will make sure I get a PDF version to you for next.
Yes, and then that's what I was saying. When Kieran does join us next time, I haven't hinted at anything.
Luckily.
Yes.
Okay. So
then he can have a copy too.
Yeah, I'll get copies. Don't see. I don't think.
Kieran.
No, trust me, mate. I said to you before.
You've been told by several people at this point. You have a love.
I think I sound like an absolute horse's anus when I talk on a podcast, but that's something you get over time, so don't worry.
I'm here to tell you boys, big boys, that both of you have very good radio voices. Now,
That's because I have a face for radio.
I am a sound-sensitive autistic. I have said that many times. And Kieran's voice is wonderful. And I'm not the only one that said that. Jonathan said that. Pete said that. And I've said it.
And your housemates have now said it.
And now my housemate has said it.
So yeah, can we get some thumbs up in the chat for Kieran's ASMR voice. So yeah.
You have a fabulous voice, Kieran.
So,
yes.
Right, so this starts. Since I was already working part-time at HAL, I was able to move up in a full-time position as soon as I graduated university. So that's where we stopped last time, was that was obviously just been given a part-time job at HAL Laboratories.
Right, yes.
So this was an ideal opportunity since I enjoyed what I was doing so much that it didn't feel like work. Now that's the best kind of job, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
If you don't feel like you're working, then it's a good job.
Yeah. I mean, there's like an old cliched saying about that. If you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work or something like that. But
I know the term, it's something along those lines.
But I'm here to tell you, as someone who has worked for other people and now owns my own business, the difference between loving what you do, doing what you love, and then hating your job, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, trust me, I've been in all three camps, and you definitely enjoy your job.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
anyway, good motivator.
So, it absolutely is. So, with its small size, HAL Laboratory gave me the chance at a young age to make all kinds of important decisions. Well, I think that's good as well, because, gives you impetus, gives you a bit of feels like you actually are in control of something.
Yes.
See, a lot of bosses tend to micromanage every project, and that's never a good idea.
No.
I hate being micromanaged.
No, that's, yeah.
I have to micromanage you.
I'm let's see, as Kieran says, if you love what you do, then you love what you do. I think that's it. Yeah, that's totally it, Kieran.
And also, I must appreciate that Lynn has said, Pete, you are awesome too. Kieran's voice is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, like she's absolutely, that's not lip service, just like you said. Lip service, that's a good pun.
Jigs. I know. Bearing in mind that when Lynn came over to visit you, she literally sat in the same room as we recorded before we even streamed and everything.
You know what's funny though is I've got these two guys with their sultry, dulcet tones, and then you've got me and my Minnie Mouse voice chirping over the top of you all.
But it's a good balance.
Sweet and sour. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gosh.
You're the yang to the yin.
Oh gosh. The big yin. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, we won't go any further with that. So, crucially, there was nobody above me working on development, which made me the point person by default. As a result, I had to handle all development myself. There was nobody to turn to for advice.
Ooh. I love him. I'm sorry. He's just so cool.
Therefore, this is why you're starting to appreciate him a lot more.
I said this last time.
Because he's the lone wolf, like you.
I love me, the lone wolves. Nobody loves us.
I've just slightly read ahead. I've got something really interesting.
Of course you did.
No, just bearing in mind, right? I'm going to tell this to the audience. Every time we read this, I have not read this.
Yeah.
At all.
I like
Last time, I did just to make sure I knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But after that point, I have not read on. So I haven't... This book about my hero in gaming, I've not read yet.
I like the organic response. I've said that before, but yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to go for with this. Is I want it to feel organic. Hey, it's Deadbeat Punk. Hello, mate. So, for those who don't know, Deadbeat Punk is the host of the podcast. I can't say the actual name of because it's rude, but it is What the F Do You Want?
Yep.
Or acronymed, of course.
Yep. I love the idea of that, guys. I think that's so good. That's so good.
Keep a look out in an extra week or so. I'm not saying anything more. So, right. I said that. So this led to yet another chance encounter. A year after I became a proper employee, Nintendo released the Famicom, short for Family Computer. Later updated and sold outside Japan as the Nintendo Entertainment System.
And I must say, for our American audience, our Super Nintendos... And
no, you mean your Nintendo? The Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
Well, the NES I think was pretty universal, but when they bumped up and went to the SNES, the Super Famicom,
Yeah. They, if you're gonna say that the NES was exactly the same as the Famicom, no.
Oh, okay.
They're very.
I knew the Super Famicom uh, and the SNES were different. So
they are no. I'll send you a picture afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Because the Famicom is very different. It doesn't even have color scheme.
Well, see, that's the thing. The SNES in America, now I'm talking about the Super thing, has such a different color scheme to you guys and the Famicom. That
the look of the Super Nintendo is different.
The shape is different. Yeah.
We had colored buttons.
You did. We just had purple and gray. That blows my mind.
Yeah, we actually had the colored buttons, which is awesome. Which is now universal across everything.
Exactly. I didn't like it at first when I first saw a picture of it.
But then again, we got everything ridiculously later than you guys. So I guess we had something else.
That is true.
You got Super Mario RPG on the SNES, and we didn't until the Wii U came out. So screw you guys.
Purple's my favorite color, so I always liked it. Purple.
Okay, so I'm going to move on. So, I have been developing computer games since my days as a part-timer. But the Famicom gave us a totally new platform, changing forever the way the games would be made.
Right.
Obviously.
I have to say, chat said color buttons all the way, and Chrono Trigger, yes.
Damn straight.
Oh, Chrono Trigger is such a feat of the system that it was, it pushed to the absolute limits. Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
So, at the time, a PC in Japan would cost you a small fortune, but the Famicom was only 15,000 yen, making it the obvious choice as a platform for playing games. I had a feeling that this system was going to change the world. I knew right away I need to find a way to get involved.
Right.
So we already knew, like, from the previous point that he was very interested in technology.
Right.
And now we're discovering that he's on the forefront of game development and knowing what's advanced.
I love his because I relate to it, his weirdly affable arrogance. It's not a mean, malicious arrogance. It's a quiet confidence.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm at the forefront. Of course he is, because he really was. But it's just funny to me. I find it charming.
Yeah, I do as well. He's a very lovable guy.
Yeah,
he's incredibly confident in his own ability.
I so relate so hard.
So, as it so happened, there was somebody connected with Nintendo at one of the companies investing in HAL Laboratory, and that person was kind enough to introduce me. With my heart set on doing something for the Famicom, pretty soon I found myself visiting Nintendo headquarters in Kyoto. Amazing, I've always wanted to go, you bastard. I mean, let's not say anything more than that, because he went on to be president.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I know, but I've always wanted to work for Nintendo, or do something, and yeah, he did. And went on to actually, we're going.
Well, I want to reflect back to Friday's thing. I talked about, unfortunately at length, but networking being a very important step in building a career, and that's what Iwata has done from the beginning, is networked and 100%. Grown. Yeah.
I think it's true with any business, no matter what it is. You can't get anywhere without networking.
Yep.
This is why we've got guests sometimes. Yep. Because we've actually done the network.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of had hiccups there, which was really annoying for an audio podcast. You know?
Yeah.
Great.
There's a special for our audio listeners.
So I was in my early 20s, dressed in a suit. Man, he must have looked awesome in a suit. Oh wait, he did look cool in a suit. So.
Oh my goodness.
Dressed in a suit I clearly wasn't used to wearing. I showed up out of nowhere, just some newbie, and said, "Please, let us work on something."
I love that!
Confidence!
I love it! It's not even... Well, see, that's what people will say. They'll usually say, "Oh, Kylie, I wish I had your confidence." It's not confidence. It's a complete disregard with what everybody else thinks. Like, I'm not a confident person. I just don't care what people think. And that's what Iwata's doing. I love it.
Yeah. I'm ignoring that. I'm ignoring that comment. I'm ignoring it.
I love it. No, I have to read it. So Chad says, Deadbeat Punk says, in regards to Pete's hiccups, stand on your head. Won't do anything for the hiccups. I just want to see you do it.
Very good.
Me
very
too.
Good. Yeah. It's not going to happen. My sense of balance is awful. I won't be able to stand it for very long. And I'll probably end up kicking over my whole computer and destroying this whole stream.
Kicking over your hole. Anyway.
Shut up. I felt a little bold asking for work like that, but in retrospect, I realised they were making themselves vulnerable too. Interesting. The company like Nintendo feeling vulnerable?
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this so much.
Okay, so they enlisted us to program software for their games. Hold on.
All right.
I've just slightly seen ahead.
Uh-oh.
I need to do something. So you observe the chat.
Okay. I don't know what Pete's doing.
I love this. So, what was it? So they enlisted us to program software for their games. This was the start of my relationship with Nintendo. Some of the early Famicom releases, such as Pinball and Golf.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Were made by me and the folks at HAL.
Aww.
And yes, I purchased a copy of Golf after his death.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Did it go up exponentially?
No, it didn't, but I wanted to own a physical version of one of the first games he ever worked on.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool.
There was an old Easter egg on the old Switch consoles, but now it's been patched out. Unfortunately, I won't go into it. But basically, there was a copy of Golf on there in Iwata's memory, but it baked in at a system OS level.
Yeah, I believe we have talked about that previously.
I think we did, yeah. But anyway, so making games for the Famicom was loads of fun, especially when they started selling like crazy all around the world. Well, no surprise there, successful. Since those games were designed on commission, we didn't benefit financially from the sales, but we were overjoyed that our games had become household names. Who needs financial incentive when you can see your work, see your creation?
In all honesty,
by the world.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
So, these creations that, once upon a time, had only been known to the friend seated next to me, had reached people all over the world.
Aww.
What could be cooler than that?
That's very cool. Oh my gosh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Because here I am talking about constantly how it's like, oh, I relate to this, Japanese guy from, the 40s and 50s and all this kind of stuff. But from his perspective, he was a Japanese guy that made games for people in, like, freaking Canada, playing, and some small residential town. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's not necessarily true, though. If we remember what it was like video game at that time.
Right.
It wasn't the same with us Brits, but in America, obviously, Atari nearly caused a crash.
Right.
Meaning that a lot of the consoles themselves weren't popular. Like, the NES was not popular to start with at all. And that's why it was called the Nintendo Entertainment System rather than a video game console. Because there was a huge stigma about video games after the 80s crash.
Right. I wondered that. Very good.
You're learning.
I'm learning.
Yeah, see, we can be informative sometimes. No, I was being nice there. I
had to get it in. That's what she said. I'm sorry.
It's only making our video for this more disgraceful with every passing minute.
That's my
thank you. Knowledge is power, so I'm sure Deadbeat Pump probably knew that anyway. So.
Yes.
Because he's a man of culture like myself.
Uh-huh.
So By linking up with the Famicom soon after its release, we were fortunate enough to play a substantial role in the widespread growth of that particular game console. In 10 years, HAL Laboratory went from a mere 5 employees to as many as 90.
Right.
Wow.
And
that's huge
that's
growth.
Huge growth.
Yeah. In 10 years.
That's huge, for especially during that time.
Yeah, and also bearing in mind as well, like how big work on games these days. There's like 200-300 employees. This is 90 across an entire company, which is ridiculous. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, I was basically responsible for development, and as soon as the title of manager was on my business card, eventually they started calling me director of development. Ooh. So he's basically unofficially being promoted within the ranks, like how because this is quite a funny story actually, because this comes down. I think this was a story on another game. Can't remember what it was. No, it was Final Fantasy VII Remake, I believe.
Right.
Where Tetsuya Nomura was assumed to be the game's director. But someone else took the directing chair, but didn't get told about it until someone had approached him and said, "Shall I do this?" And the guy wondered why he wasn't asking Tetsuya Nomura about it.
Right.
So Nomura had obviously turned around and said, "Yeah, he's the game's director, not me."
Gosh. I agree, Karen. It's like mind blowing. Since this man sounds like one of God's favorites. Yeah, it's just one step after another. It's just like
100%. And this is why he went to heaven.
Yes.
The guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And he had heart gold as well, which you'll find out later on.
Oh. I'm on
No,
edge.
I said probably because you already know it anyway.
Yes, I do. We talked about it.
I know we have, but
all right.
I need to build suspense for each week. Each time we do this,
we do build up expense.
Anyway,
we build up expense.
We do that too.
I'm getting tired.
I know. So this is the last section before we done. So looking back, the games that we developed in those days all involved big software ideas where the client wasn't quite sure how to pull it off.
Sounds like my career as a graphic designer.
Pretty much. So, once we had made something of a name of ourselves, we were lauded for our technical abilities, which led to a steady stream of work.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna give you the title of the next section, which is Becoming President with a 1.5 billion yen of debt.
Ooh, challenge.
And we're going to leave it there because I wanted to cover more, but we can't.
Can't. Yep.
Kylie ranted for an hour about ridiculousness.
I didn't rant.
Kylie ranted about ridiculousness for an hour.
I don't remember what I talked about, but I didn't rant.
Sounds like a rant to me.
No, rant involves anger. I'm never angry.
Not always. Not always.
Well,
you positively rant about something.
Can you? Wouldn't that be raving? Positively raving.
Ranting and raving. Where do you think the term comes from?
I was raving about Friday. Friday was great. Go watch the VOD.
Yeah. Please do, because I'm going to.
Yes. I've already warned Pete. There's a part in there where I go, I don't want Pete here. It does not mean I literally don't want him there. It means I did not want Pete there in that moment.
See what happens when I'm not around. And this is why I never take vacations anymore.
Kieran was more than adequate.
No, I meant you. I get slandered.
If
I don't turn up, I get slandered.
No, I purely meant because the specter of your looming specter over us, your long shadow, meant that I couldn't go off on my perverted tangents. Yes, exactly, Kieran. Joker cannot exist without the Batman. And Lynn, because he would be reprimanding you. Exactly, Lynn. That's all I meant was that he would be there going, well, you'll see. Kieran does a couple of impressions.
I'm looking forward to seeing those, of course. Because he's probably nailed it, to be fair, knowing him.
No, they were just suggestions. They weren't full effort.
Okay.
They were pretty close. They were good enough that I went, I can't be bad anymore. I have to be good.
I worry about that. Also, have you got an apology to make for Friday? On the record?
Wait, let me... I'm Robin, but cool Robin. Like Jason Todd or Dick Grayson. That's from Kieran.
Sorry, Jason Todd was cool? No, Jason Todd was only cool when he became Red Hood.
I was gonna say... Okay, we can't. It's not a DC podcast. We can't. Oh my gosh.
Also, I'm not talking about how they named one Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Dick. But my brain has just gone into...
I know it has, because you're rocking in your chair.
Oh, shut up. You don't know me.
I do know you, like I said at the beginning of the podcast. That is...
I'm going to not say what is on my mind for once. What am I apologizing for? Wait. I'm confused.
Are you sure you don't remember?
Pete said I had to apologize, and now Lynn is saying, what do I have to apologize?
Are you sure you haven't got anything to apologise for Friday? On the record?
Remind me.
I'm sorry, Chloe, that I ignored your message about jumping off the Jackbox party games.
Oh my gosh, yes! I feel so bad about that because apparently the message came in while we were live, but I didn't.
I felt so bad about it that I completely forgot I had to say something about it.
Oh gosh! No, I really did feel bad.
No, I'm joking. You didn't have to apologise.
No, I did, because I felt really bad about that, because I did not see the message until way after.
I just wanted to wind you up about something, so there you go. I got people putting in the chat. You've got to apologise.
Winded me up, and Kieran literally just read my mind, which is why I was trying to floop. Maybe not Jason Todd, because that means Kylie pushes me to the brink of death.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I didn't want to kill the joke. So, Lindsay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, see? There you go.
I feel terrible. I feel so bad.
See, I would have at least put a message, like, whilst we were recording.
Well, no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it till we were done. That was the problem. Because I don't check Discord. The worst. And then the whisper or whatever it's called didn't show up until I hit end, whatever.
Oh, okay. And
then it was like, oh, what does this red thing mean? And I clicked on it, and it was a message from Chloe, and I felt so bad. I was like, no, I know I have it. Oh, that's what Lynn means. See, I'm not the only one. I have a terrible history for not answering people. I can offer no defense.
I still haven't had an apology.
I said I was sorry to Chloe. What?
Made you say it again, though. There you go.
Well, no, I really do. I don't mind saying sorry to that, because that was a complete accident. I know I can be terrible about messages, but that one was, totally unintentional.
And poor this Chloe. Is why I do what I do, because I'm the one who handles the messages.
Yeah, Pete has to answer the messages and the booking of the guests, because I'm just like, yo, you want to come on our show? And Pete's like,
Kieran, you are not an accomplice to Kylie's sin. Kylie should know better, that she should be taking responsibility when I'm not here.
Kieran, it's wonderful in my world of sin. Please join me. Come to the dark side.
No, he is. I'm not allowing him to be corrupted.
I will corrupt him.
By Emperor Palpatine over there.
No. Emperor Palpatine is wrinkly.
And? Yeah, see, look. I don't care.
But the dark side is sexier. You have to admit, Siths are sexier. They get to feel feelings.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, because I really look at Darth Maul and think I must strip my clothes off because he's so sexy.
No, I didn't mean physically sexier. I meant the idea that the Jedis have to repress everything and never feel. And the Siths are allowed to feel a passion.
Well, then you should be a Jedi.
Why?
You've always told me you don't have feelings.
No, I have feelings. I'm not connected to them.
See, Lynn knows where I was going with that. She's already...
Oh, is Ray whatever his name was? Is Scott? Was he?
Yeah, he was, I believe. Any questions? Anyone got any questions?
He's red and black. Yeah, questions, because I'm going to keep going on about the hotness of the Siths. I mean, when I was little, I had a crush on Darth Vader.
I mean, who doesn't?
That's right.
Oh, wait, every single Star Wars fan, because most of them are male at that point.
Well, that's true. And then Darth Maul. I did like him, but he wasn't featured enough, and he didn't really talk much. I didn't understand his point.
And he gets chopped in half.
But he did have the really cool double saber. Let's see. Oh. Honestly, when I was little, I didn't know that What's-His-Face was doing the voice of Darth Vader. That wouldn't be until I was, like, way older. What? Oh.
Lynn asked what the name of the book was.
Okay. Yeah, Smooth Operator or Smooth Criminal?
Depends on what kind of day you catch me on.
Smooth Operator.
No, that's why I left it lingering up there for a long period of time, Lynn, so then you could just have a look and just see. It's available on all good bookstores and some bad ones too.
And one day, I should actually see. I should see if Bamboozee can get the rights to the audio version, and then I'll get you, Pete, to record an audio version.
That would be cool, because there's no audiobook for it.
Exactly, and audio versions don't cost very much to secure rights.
I'll gladly do the reading of it.
I'll get Kieran to read something else, and then I'll just have. No, I'll get both of you to each do a different thing.
Fair enough.
And then I'll just like produce my own Audible books of like sexy voices that aren't American. I'll call it something better.
Look, I think we might need to revise the Scottish one, because I'm not sure how many people can understand Scottish outside of Scotland.
Okay.
No offense, Kieran.
I will say, because this is funny. The same person that was like, ooh, he should do ASMR. They're American too. And they stood there for a second and they were like, how do you understand him, Kylie? I was like, I understand him perfectly. I don't know what. I mean, okay, there is the fact that he does sound like my grandmother, but same accent.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't understand. And they were just like, okay. And they walked on. But that was funny.
I perfectly understand him, because I've got family friends who live in Scotland, so I've been up there a lot. Also, a lot of phone calls I take are generally tending to be from Scottish people. Again, with the racism, Pete, you are going the right way for a cancellation. Look, people have tried and people have failed.
Oh gosh, you know what
I don't take cancellation well.
You know what I'm thinking of though is that if I were to be 100% my actual accent, my East Texas accent, you would not understand me.
No, I've heard it a couple of times when you're either drunk or tired or
both.
The Scottish aren't a race, they are a nation. That is true. You can't be racist against a nation. You can be nationalist. Any more questions before we wrap this up?
Yes, give us questiones, and they can be anything about the life, universe, and everything. And what is our meaning? What is the point of it all?
I knew you were going to put that, which is why I've just said 2.
Yep.
Yes. The Scottish are a very mighty.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not one of those.
Scotland.
I'm.
And will be see your like again, my friend.
Anyway,
for Dead Pete Punk, I should probably explain my family is Scottish. I was born in America.
Yeah, I know you are, but still, I'm gonna admit here, I'm not people who hate Scotland for no particular reason.
That's dumb. Nobody should.
I like the Scottish. It's just the Scottish don't like the English for some reason. Oh wait, I know why they don't like them, but I'm not one of those a-holes.
Yep. Come to Ireland, it's even worse.
Is it worse to drink alone or barbecue? Oh, that's a really good question.
Is it worse to drink alone or barbecue? Well, see, that's a tough one for me because, again, for the millionth time, I'm from Texas and you just barbecue.
But you also drink alone.
Drinking alone's bad.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is bad. I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm thinking about barbecue. Like, I barbecued myself a hamburger several times in Texas.
You barbecued yourself?
Yes, I barbecued myself. Hopped up on there and put my own stuff on the Barbie.
Lynn says neither.
Yeah. See, it's difficult for Texans because that's how we have to cook in the summer a lot of times.
That's life for you
guys. Yeah. Especially now with the heat wave.
Okay, fine. I'll tackle this from the English perspective then. What's worse, drinking alone or barbecuing alone? Barbecuing alone for sure. Definitely.
Crying.
Because I've been in a pub by myself. I don't care.
Oh my gosh!
I've sat there with my earphones on and the switch going whilst I was waiting for a film to start. So what's the problem?
I've taken myself to a restaurant. You do get weird looks.
Yeah, you do. You do, but I don't care.
It's either go by myself or not go at all. Yes.
You need people around to drink and queue, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Karen, that is so sad. Drinking alone in the dark is sadder. Yes.
He described Kylie's week.
Oh, no. I'll have you know, I have nearly, well, I'm not going to say stop drinking, but reduced it quite a bit.
I know you have.
So, I know this is all tongue-in-cheek and funny, but yes, the goal is... Hell yeah, Karen. Anyway, the goal is to have everyone out in August. I'll have way more details then. Not this coming August, August 2022. Oh gosh. Okay, Karen says barbecuing alone is kind of an alpha move, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. And then Lynn says, I love that, Pete. I don't know if it was the crying alone or whatever. And then Dead Pete...
Probably drinking alone in your basement in the dark.
Dead Pete Punk says midnight barbecue whilst crying.
What's sadder, midnight barbecuing or drinking, crying?
They all go hand in hand.
I think they're both as bad as each other at this point. If it's midnight anything, that's when you've hit the bottom of the bottom.
Oh my gosh, that is like so sad. Okay, let's get one more question from you guys and then we'll wrap it up.
Let's be honest here, like we're not likely to get much time for queuing over here with crappy weather.
Yeah.
Same with Ireland as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. I kind of have to keep a reserve of like meats to grill. So, oh gosh. Oh
yeah,
gosh,
I was laughing at that comment, yeah. Oh, goodness. Kieran's just tagged Deadbeat Punk and put listening to Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo to make matters worse. Oh my gosh.
Especially driver's license. Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
I'm not joking. I walked past 2 people yesterday wearing Billie Eilish shirts and I went, what? Who the hell is a Billie Eilish?
Oh my gosh, Deadbeat Punk's is crying for help situation there. Kieran says, real rock bottom cuss right there. That was like me the other day. I was listening to, what's his name? The Scottish singer that's related to the Doctor Who guy. Doctor Who guy. Who was Doctor Who the last time?
David Tennant. No.
The Scottish guy.
Oh,
Before
God,
the
what
chick.
is his name? What is his name? I know who it is. He was in the thick of it and other things like that. But
Yeah. And yes,
Peter
Lynn,
Capaldi.
I keep saying dead.
Peter Capaldi.
Okay, yes, his nephew, Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah.
I
Got
just...
there before you, Brent. Whoop, whoop.
Yep. Yeah, and I was just like listening to his stuff and drinking. I was like, oh my gosh. All I needed to do was add a barbecue.
Yeah, and you would hear Rob Run.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, any more questions before we call this a D?
Yep. We've got a couple of more minutes and then we can wrap it up.
It could be anything. Food.
I have to say, this episode more than makes up for last week's.
Oh, for sure. This has been so dumb.
It's been dumb from start to finish, and I love it. I mean, yes, we like to do some, like, hard-hitting, thoughtful, deep things, but sometimes you just gotta let go and just laugh your ass off.
Well, this is exactly why I had no plan for today, other than let's cover a section of this.
Laugh your cuss off.
Yeah, we just needed to do something to cut through all that ridiculous news we had last week.
Yeah. I mean, the world is burning. We might as well laugh.
I'm not... I know, but I was so bummed out after doing all that.
I know! I felt so terrible! I did. But then, we had a great Friday, and we had a great one today.
Yeah.
So, chat, throw us up one more question, and then we will wrap this thing up.
Well, if they fancy it.
Yeah, no, I ain't making you. I'm watching the time, and I know we got time
make me somehow.
for one more question.
Yeah, you can tell you're getting tired because that's going Texan as we speak.
What's funny is when Lynn's here next year,
full blown.
It's y'all are gonna be going, what? What is it? I didn't quite catch that. What was the thing you just said? I
don't. Jesus Christ. You make me sound like I speak the Queen's.
You do have quite a proper accent at times, Pete.
Because that is unfortunately where I live.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's full proper and prim.
Yes.
You know, it is.
It is funny though. I'm
nice posh area.
I'm tattle on Pete right quick. He doesn't know this, but when he was on vacation, I guess I won't say exactly where you were on vacation, or do you want to say like the area?
What, in Essex?
Yeah. So he went to Essex, and his accent changed quite a bit.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone's ever heard what person. Jesus Christ. It's horrible at times. It is like the most uncultured thing you'll ever hear.
It was so funny. Especially when you were raging.
No, just honestly, if anyone wants a good example of what Essex accent sounds like, just watch 2 minutes of the show The Only Way Is Essex. And I wouldn't advise anyone to watch more than 2 minutes of that show because it's trash.
We had our own version. Yep. Kieran says, love how we treat Pete like he's MI6, his whereabouts a state secret. I'm always so scared to dox people. But, yeah.
Yeah, Kylie actually does know where I live. There's things here before.
What was I going to say? Oh, we have an Irish version of The Only Way is Essex. That is...
The Only Way is Bangor.
That would make a lot of sense. But no, I've actually forgotten what it's called. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It probably should be called The Only Way is Guinness.
I've been to the Guinness factory.
Of course you have.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Guinness isn't vegan?
Yes, they put it through fish bladders.
Yeah.
It's funny how I know facts about alcohol.
I know. The funny thing was, there was a guy who I used to hang around.
Oh.
Drinking.
You just cut out, Pete.
There was a guy I used to hang around with who used to drink Guinness.
Oh gosh.
Despite being vegan.
Did he know?
No.
I took one drink of Guinness once. California! Yes, that was it! Dead Pete. Punk got it.
They'd be Punk is Irish, to be fair. So.
Right? I didn't know that. Yes, that is it. California, because it's Tala, and
yeah,
I've done some derby things over in Tala, so it's weird. Anyway, but yeah, I had one drink of Guinness ever. I didn't like it, but I can't drink beer anyway, so.
No, I can't drink beer anyway as well. But the first time I ever drank
Spirits
Guinness
and wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was. Oh, brilliant. I'm saying nothing. I'm not getting involved in this conflict.
I too am in the dirty north.
Yeah, well.
But, yes.
Anyway, first time I ever drank Guinness, I was playing a game called Pub Golf.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I had to down the pint. Look.
Yes, that's what everyone says over here. Guinness is like drinking bread. And I was told that. I was like, oh, that's silly. But, like, everybody was saying it. And I drank it, and it was like liquid bread. I was like, no, this is not for me. Yeah. I need spirits and wine. That's what I do.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this up now for the audio listener.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we will be continuing to record for just a couple of more minutes after the audio recording. So please join us over at Rapid Reviews on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. And as always, we thank you for stopping by. You could spend your time with anyone, and the fact that you spend it with us means so much from the bottom of our hearts. And I need to burp, and I apologize. Okay, I think it's passed. So, but we do hope you will join us next time, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
One day I'm going to stop this.
It's fine.
There, that ends the podcast portion. Now we can say cuss words.
No, we can't. We can't.
You.
No, because you told me off the other day whilst I was reading Fall Guys for cussing.
That was so funny. That was so funny.
I tried my best to stay family friendly. You don't know what I'm like actually game.
Well, see, I do think that when we do start all playing,
yeah,
we will have to be very upfront that the streams will not be.
Oh,
I can't.
Sure.
I have a filthy, dirty mouth.
Yeah, so do I. It's awful.
I live in Ireland.
That's not an excuse.
It is when everyone around you is a filthy, dirty mouth.
Well, I guess really, technically, Ireland basically send every sentence the F word.
Yes, literally. The F word is it's an adverb, an adjective, a noun, and a verb.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Aussies, they finish the end of every sentence with the C word.
Oh gosh. Oh dear.
Which I've always found funny. I don't know why.
Because you're silly, Pete. Do we have someone we're gonna raid?
Yeah.
Do we need to raid? We don't have many in chat.
No, I'm gonna find out. See if there's a stream possibly.
I'm not sure that we're up for raiding today.
No, I think we'll leave it for today because there's not many people left in here. It's fine.
A terrible stereotype. Well.
I never. Now.
I want to hear Kieran go off.
I know better than that, Deadbeat Pun.
Yeah.
I know better than that because I think you approached me and said to me before we recorded, you went, "I know your podcasts are usually like okay, but I swear on this one, it's like, yeah, cool." Great. So yeah, anyone who listens to a future episode, will have to be aware that there is going to be swears and a lot of them.
And then Karen says, I've been known to verbally assault fall beans when they get in the way of me winning. I want to see Karen play so bad. Oh, we have to. Let's see. If everyone... I'm shouting. I do apologize. I'm excited. I shout when I get excited. But if... Guys, for real, let's try... I don't know if everybody's free this coming week. But
I'm
let's
free
try.
on Friday.
Okay. Let me know. Chat, you join us. Everyone, I want to play Fallout Guys.
Anyway.
Ah.
We will sort something out. I will put the message up in the week and see what we can sort out with this. I'll put it in public as well, so people can see it.
And if we do it, no, Karen, don't control yourself. Let the chaos reign.
I'm gonna. I don't. At this point, I'm kind of not gonna care. So it's just like it's because I was on my own.
You cut out.
I said it's too noticeable when I do it on my own stream. So when it's 12 other people doing it, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Good.
You know I'm gonna be screaming at someone. Does Chloe, Sophie, and the rest of them?
At all, yeah.
Yeah, the whole group of them. If we can get Chloe's group.
I don't know, but I'll put a message in both Millie's and Chloe's Discord.
Yeah. Are you on Sophie's? I mean, they're all connected, so.
Sophie is in both of them.
Yeah, so I was gonna say they're all connected. They're all a good little group, but
they are a very good group.
You have to let the chaos flow through you, Kieran.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always planning on trying to get that out.
And we need 12.
We do need 12
minimum. I mean, we can take more.
But that does pose a problem, though. How are we going to handle the communication side?
What do you mean? Explain to me, and I will explain to you.
Discord only allows up to 10 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Might have to go to TeamSpeak or something else.
TeamSpeak, Zoom, or Skype.
Yeah. We can do a limit. Like, if nothing else, we can do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to try and think the logistics side of things, of how everyone talk on the stream. Mm-hmm. Then again, not everyone might join the voice chat anyway, so...
That's true. That's true, because, I mean, it's not like it's going to be a tactics thing. It's going to be clearly all of us laughing and shouting and saying, get your bean ass out of my way.
Yeah, but anyway, I've got to...
yes, you got to go. All right. Thanks, everybody, for reals, for joining us.
Yeah.
And I do hope that this week made up for last week, because I'm getting tired. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Pete, take over. I can't, brain. It's just gone.
Okay, first of all, Kylie, send that file over to me.
Oh, right. I forgot to export it.
That's fine. I've got to do mine now anyway. So,
good.
Yeah, I'm going to say thanks to everyone for obviously joining us today. It was awesome. It's just nice to be able to cut through all the nonsense of last week. Because that was not so fun.
No, it wasn't.
So fun. So yeah, thanks for joining us. I want to say thanks to Deadbeat Punk for joining us on his first stream this time around, which is very, very cool. So thank you very much, good sir. He did tell me whilst we were doing our recording that he's been listening to both that and Never Watches. So
very good.
So
excellent.
We got a new fan. I'm very appreciative. But to all of our long-time fans, our long-time watchers, we want to thank you again for joining us. Cheers for stepping in, Kieran, on Friday to cover my shoes. They must be big shoes to fill, even though they're only size 8s. But yes, we will catch you next time. I can't go much longer. I would love to go long. Here.
That's what she said.
Shut up. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. No raid today, but thank you again. So cheers, everyone.
All right.
We'll speak to you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.